Can skip right over that. And just go over to-
I know.
It's being recorded, it's not being on. It is recording, so we're good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. There's Steve. Oh. Controls. Let's see those. Steve, can you hear us okay? No. it's not.
Yeah, I,
Great.
I don't see anybody here from the public, so we can skip my read through.
Call over to the Monday, September 9th, 2024 RAB meeting. There's no one, I guess we're gonna approve of the July minutes. I read through and didn't have any edits or comments. Anything else? Is
Nope.
there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
all right,
The July meeting minutes are approved. We're gonna move to virtual public comment, but no one is still there, correct?
Just triple check. We do not have any members of the public except for those in the room.
Lynn, do you want to provide public comment?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't press it, but.
Don't need to press the button.
And you can just talk, I'm gonna share the timer. Or like. So it'll tell them.
It will, there's a room microphone.
Stand up and speak, it'll hear you, right?
Okay, I'm upset, as Joanna knows very well, about my water bill being $100 a month. You know, like, and I am in the first floor. And I don't even irrigate. And I know we have these fees and sewer, you know, and stormwater and flood water. I get all of that, but there's gotta be a better way of like being more equitable with elders, I'm 71, or with lower income people or fixed income people, that proportionally they could pay less of those fees, which make up 90% of my bill, is all these fees. I mean, we're always pushing for DEI and voting, right? So, and for better, you know, with the housing crisis, like everything, like the insurance going up, the property tax going up, and the shared polis thing isn't even do you know what that was? 260 or 280 million savings rather than 3.4 billion savings is what it could have done. It seems like that's kind of a cheap fix on the part of Jared for our property taxes. And so they settled out of court, the court being public opinion on the ballot, you know, but it's pretty crippling. It's kind of like, you know, upping the minimum wage, you know, and the people want to like delay it and not bring it up too high. But you know what? That's an overnight bang. Because as soon as you give people free money, they spend it like frick. And then your economy goes bang, you know? So, you know, there's ways to solve these problems. The other thing I'm thinking is you could or should, I don't like to be pedantic. I come from a family of educators and I hate when people educate me. But, you know, these micro apartments and efficiencies are very costly for water. The water that it takes to make things, to make toilets, to make, you know, for a house to have 5 or 10 toilets, you know, like they should have to pay for having more toilets than they have people. Like it's utterly ridiculous. And the same for washers and dryers, which now my Maytag, like brand new 2000, probably doesn't have the parts anymore. It won't spin the clothes dry at the end. But laundry facilities, you know, do take a lot of water to make water is life. My daughter's a water artist, you know what? She's a she takes geographical data and transforms it into structural, three-dimensional forms to demonstrate to people how they're using their water. And so, and I couldn't ask for more because my name means water, Lynn. My brother was a water treatment guy with the city for his career, he's a water chemist.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, time is up, but the
Yeah,
sound wasn't on, so I just wanted to let you know that.
okay, so thanks, just try to branch out into the broader picture of what's happening because water gets used so much everywhere and so inefficient.
Great, thank you, Lynn, and thank you for coming in person.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm coming on the sewer tour. I've
Great.
really been looking forward to the sewer tour. It sounds so sick, but.
You're not, no pressure.
And I missed the CAB meeting for this, but that's why I'm not here. If ever you don't see me, it's only because you conflict with CAB. Understand?
And with that, we can move to matters from the board. Anything? We have some pets on the board. Steve, anything on your end? And thanks for joining. Okay. With that, we can move to matters from staff.
You can do the pet introductions after the.
Say that for the one.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Joe Tadiucci. I'm the director of the Utilities Department. And just the run of the meeting tonight, we have a really brief business meeting. I'll have a couple of things to touch on under matters. And then we can close out the meeting and go out for a tour. So rather than talking about projects and the funding and everything that we usually do with the board, I'm excited that you're going to get to see one of our critical projects. So for matters, just wanted to mention that in the packet tonight, there was a letter from City Council. They outlined to all of the boards across the city the priorities that they landed on, the 11 priorities on their retreat. And so they wanted to communicate back to the boards because certainly some of those priorities would have been set from feedback that they received from boards. And then this past weekend on Saturday, we had the What's Up Boulder community event. And it was at the East Boulder Community Center and a beautiful warm day. And from 1 to 4, I believe it was. And city departments had booths set up to kind of be able to talk to the public and demonstration things. We had our utilities maintenance team out there and they had this water maintenance or water meter demo hooked up to one of the electric vehicles we had. And our flood team was there with information on projects, utility billing, and our water resources group. And had a lot of really good engaged conversations with community members. So it was a good event. So the last thing under matters, we thought just to give some context for the tour that we're going to see, we do a brief presentation here while we're in the Municipal Services Center. It's kind of a nostalgic place for me. This is where we used to have all of our board meetings. When I first started, they were in that room in there. We moved around a little bit, but it's good to be back here. So Chris Olson is senior project manager in our utilities engineering group, and he oversees the team that does the wastewater engineering projects. He's leading this project. Chris will do the presentation tonight, and then we also have Chris Douglas, who oversees the whole utilities engineering group and will help out with the tour. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chris. He'll do the presentation, and then the only thing we'll have after that is just to run through the upcoming agenda. Okay. Chris?
Okay, thanks, Joe. Chris Olson, wastewater engineering supervisor. I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to try and keep this as brief as I can so we can spend as much time as possible. Site. Grabbing the right screen.
think I might have said stormwater when I was introducing you, didn't I?
I think you said it right.
Did I?
Okay. Maybe. Oh. Let's do my camera. All right. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the main sewer improvements project. This is a project that's been going on for a very long time. But before we get into kind of the project specifics, just a really brief overview of the wastewater collection system utility, part of the utility. Boulder's very lucky in that the western side of town is so much higher in elevation than the eastern side, so we're able to take advantage of a lot of the downhill topography in the city, and so we only have one lift station within our entire wastewater collection system, and the rest of the system is all by gravity. And the way that the system works is local sewers kind of collect wastewater that flows to some of these larger diameter trunk sewers. And those larger diameter trunk sewers are all collected on the east side of town in our main interceptor that runs all the way down from the southern side of town, north, all the way up to the water resource recovery facility that's located at 75th and J. The gun barrel area also has a similar setup where everything comes from north to the south, and flow either goes over an aerial elevated crossing near the treatment plant or under Boulder Creek in an inverted siphon. So of that, you can see just a little bit of flow comes from the southern side of town, and as you continue and progress north, you're picking up more and more flow. And the area that we're really interested in is kind of once you get to Belmont Butte Mill area and turns and goes east to the treatment plant, we're carrying a pretty sizable amount of flow at that point in the system. So this project actually, it has a very long history in that there are references to a pipeline in this general area dating back to the 1960s. When a lot of the planning projections around the city of Boulder were a lot different than they are today. And there were plans for an interceptor pipeline that went to a treatment plant in kind of the same area. The need for that went away after some of the plans have changed, and those areas were ever annexed into the city. But the existing line that is there that carries everything to the treatment plant was built in 1968. And in 1969, we had a major flood, and we actually lost part of that interceptor pipeline that was had been in operation for about a year, maybe even less. So the treatment plant at 75th was offline for some time. At the time, it was still the plant that used to be here near the MSC was still operational, but yeah, the brand new shiny wastewater facility was operating for a little while. In 2013, that nearly happened again, but for some heroic efforts of kind of a cowboy operator got in and basically put the creek back where it needed to be, and that kept our system intact. So there were some pretty heroic efforts back in 2013 that really kept this thing alive, but that really brought to light some of the vulnerabilities that we have in this area of our utility. In 2015, we did relocate a segment of the most concerning piece of that line, a little bit further away from Boulder Creek. So we sort of helped the system a little bit by doing that, but it really, we really didn't solve all of the concerns or issues with the flood vulnerability of this project. In 2016, the collection system master plan recommended a new pipe and a new location. And for the next 7 years, we worked with Boulder County and worked with a lot of the property owners to come up with a design and a permitted project that could be built and would be built in a way that would be successful for the utility and for our neighbors. So phase one of that project, we'll get into what each of those phases are. That was actually constructed in 2022 and 2023. And right now we're within the relocation or realignment phase of the project. And we're expecting that to go here. So some of the main drivers for this project, when we get severe rainfall events, we get a lot of rainwater unintentionally enters our collection system. And some of these areas, this pipeline isn't able to support a lot of that infiltration and inflow that we get into our system. We get street flooding, sometimes knocks manhole covers off, and we get a lot of excess flow that we don't want in our system unintentionally gets in there. So these couple of photos that you see on the screen are in the area of the existing interceptor, and they did result in sanitary sewer overflows back in 2000. Project driver number 1 is capacity. Project driver number 2 is conditions. Again, there was a lot of thought put into where the treatment facility was, but the materials and construction that were available at the time in the 1960s have really started to show their age. There's a lot of internal corrosion that we start to see with reinforced concrete pipe. So the figure on the left shows what a brand new pipe is, and the figure on the right shows a 2014 inspection of this line, and it shows a lot of exposed rebar. This is a lot of soft concrete, and there are concerns with the structural integrity of that part of the system. And then, as I mentioned, project driver 3 is flood vulnerability. This purple line is the existing interceptor. And these are photos from the 2013 flood where Boulder Creek had jumped its banks. It's a meandering stream. It's what meandering streams do. And in this case, we had Boulder Creek that was running immediately over and washing out the material around our interceptor line. So really, overall goal of the project is risk reduction. About 85% of the city's wastewater flows through the large diameter piece of this line. It struggles to convey flows during extreme events, and it is vulnerable to creek migration. So the overall program, and apologies for the screen doesn't show the colors very well, so my apologies for that. But it's essentially a 3-phase program. And we'll call phase 0 the work that started before it came into our master plan, which was the relocation of a very vulnerable piece of that project. Phase 1 rehabilitated the most severely corroded segment of that line that was completed in 2022 into 2023. Phase 2 is moving the main line that carries most of Boulder's wastewater flow away from Boulder Creek. So Boulder Creek is follow my mouse here. This is where Boulder Creek runs. So we'll be running the new line along this blue corridor here. So it flows through, I'll get to that in a second. And then phase 3 will rehabilitate the remaining segments and strengthen the remaining segments that need to remain in service that can't be served by this new line. So you can kind of see in the background, there's some green lines that come up from the north here, up down 63rd, and then also some flows from the airport road area. Those will remain in service on the old pipeline because by gravity, we weren't able to get them down 61st into the new main. So phase 3 will rehabilitate those remaining segments and add some reinforcement to them in case something happens with the creek in the future. So this is some photos of phase 1. Installed a liner in the existing pipe. This is a bypass that went over Boulder Creek, and essentially it's the same or similar technology to the sanitary sewer lining program. You know, the ones that are in residential streets, just on 42-inch pipe instead of 8-inch pipe. So the end result of phase 1 started with a pipeline that looked like this and ended with a pipeline that has a brand new pipe inside of it. So phase 2, again, we're building a new line away from the creek, and that main will traverse city and county open space. This has all been built. It goes through the Keeter properties. This is called Boulder Recycle Aggregate. It goes through some of the Pioneer Sand and Gravel facilities, a few private residences here, and then through the concrete batch plant that's just east of 61st. And then in front of the community on Belmont Road, and eventually ties in at the north side of Western Disposal. So one of the spots we're gonna check out today are the tie-in points at Western Disposal, as well as a tunnel location, kind of in that same area. So we'll see a lot of open cut construction over at Western. This is where we need to intercept a couple of existing large diameter lines, pick them up and send them into the new pipeline. There's also some tunnel construction under Valmont Road that's gonna be very interesting to go see. And on that tunnel note, what you'll see out there is a pretty impressive construction operation. It looks like a lot, but there were some very good reasons for us to approach building a tunnel in lieu of open cut along that corridor. One is a lot of those homes that are on Valmont are on private drinking water wells. We were concerned with the depth of this line, that when we go for construction dewatering, that we could actually affect their water wells. So we made a decision to extend a tunnel quite a bit further and mitigate the impacts to those wells. It also means there will be no closures for local residents. Limits commuter impacts and bus routes. Boulder County was pretty adamant about working hours in this very busy corridor. It would really draw out how long we'd be there and the length of time that we'd be affecting those residents and commuters coming in and out of town. There's also an RTD crossing. You won't see the tracks because they're covered in asphalt, but we still had to work through the same permitting processes with RTD that we would for any other project. And there's also a transmission main that goes through that area, so we mitigate some risk to crossing one of our critical water lines. Let's get those figures. So essentially what you'll look at the tunnel, it's called a micro tunnel. So there's at the front of this machine, there's a tunnel boring head. Think of it like a big blender, big drill in the ground, and it's kind of grinding up the dirt in front of it, and it's pumping everything out as a slurry. All that slurry goes to a separation plant, and they remove all the dirt out of it, and they recycle the water, and they just keep kind of pumping it out as a hydraulic system. And as they're doing that, they're pushing pieces of casing pipe inside of the hole and kind of progressing it forward. So what we'll see is a similar setup to this jack frame that's pushing the casing. We'll see some pipes that are sitting out there, and we'll see a lot of the separation equipment and all the widgets that kind of make it work. So some field photos of what's going on out there. We'll see launch and receiving shafts that are watertight. We'll see this tunnel boring machine. Well, we won't see the head of it, but because it's underground, but we'll see where they're pushing the casing in and kind of checking out how that system works. And we'll also you'll be able to see a lot of how they built the shafts. It's a pretty impressive operation there. So essentially that tunnel looks like 3 watertight shafts. One is to launch the tunnel, and then the other 2 are to catch it when it gets to the end. So we'll spend most of our time kind of at this launch shaft. That's where all the excitement is. But we do have one of these things already installed, and we're making good progress on the second of the 2 tunnel drives. So currently, we're almost to 61st, I would say. We're getting pretty close. So active work areas on the project right now. Again, Valmont and Butte Mill over here at the Western Disposal site. Tunneling operations up here, and if there's time, and if we still have daylight, we can go check out the inverted site that's out near the water resource recovery facility. So we can see how time works out. And with that, I will quickly maybe turn it over to Craig to give us a little safety briefing before we head out.
Are we going to the bore site first?
I think we probably go to Western first and then walk across or drive across.
Okay. There should be enough parking on site. Well, if you want to send out an address or just have we're gonna
A city vehicle that can fit almost all of us.
oh, perfect. That makes it easier then. So typically before we go out on any job site, we go through a job hazard analysis. That's just acknowledging what kind of risks or hazards there are how we control for them. Obviously, no work going on right now, but there are still hazards of walking around the construction site. The main ones that we're gonna look out for are slips, trips and falls. There are cables, there are hoses, there's rocky areas at the entrance to the site. It's supposed to knock dirt off your tires. All that stuff is really easy to trip on. So just watch where you walk in. Hopefully everybody's got some closed-toed shoes. I don't think we need a full PPE setup for tonight. There won't be any equipment operating or anything like that. We're gonna be looking at some open excavations. There's some cool stuff going on down inside of those excavations. Try not to lean on the handrail that we have set up around us. That's really just there for safety. It's not great if everybody's leaning on them at the same time all the time. It's really tempting, and I'm sure I'll do it a little bit too, but try to avoid it. And then the last thing is we've only got about an hour of sunlight, so all this stuff, especially being unfamiliar with the areas, just take your time getting around. Try to stay off your phone when you're walking around. If you need to take a call or send a text, find a safe place to step off to the side and do it. And if we run out of sunlight, probably a good idea to call it a day.
Maybe we should run to the tunnel first then, just in case.
All right.
I guess it is 6:30.
That's really all I got for you guys. Just gonna ask everybody to put their name down here, just saying that we've run through the basic hazards of the job site. And go check everything out.
Thank you.
Of course.
I'll open it up for questions when we get there.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I was actually there in the field when Chris was describing the flooding and having to use an excavator to reroute the creek.
Oh, you were?
Yep. That was me and Kevin.
And his cowboy operator.
Some pictures and stuff.
I think our stuff here, or should we
Yeah.
bring all?
We can leave it here with you. Yeah, let's just jump in one time, expecting.
So right here.
Maybe one or two.
You're December 4th. Might need a second one more, because I don't need to see her and I didn't realize she was. Oh, I'm good, thank you.
No, it's.
That's not everything.
Okay.
Right, that's what- So we'll have.
The two of you can. Yeah, I think we can make that work.
Joe, we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
What's your schedule?
I had moved on. Where is it? So in October, we will have an information on some code updates related to the backflow prevention program, just some updates on fees and things like that. And we'll also have a project update as an information item on the Goose Creek Flood Project. For November, I have noted here a retreat. I think because of when council has their retreats, that's very likely gonna move to the first part of the year, maybe February, like it was last year, I believe. November will potentially have an action item related to wastewater IGA for town of Netherland. And could be very similar to what we've got going tonight with a short business meeting and a tour of some of the 63rd Street upgrades or the 63rd Street water treatment plant. And then it's looking like in December, we won't have a meeting, so that's how things are shaping up.
Great, thanks, Joe. With that, is there a motion to adjourn the business meeting?
Is that?
All those in favor?
Hi.
Steve, sorry you can't join us for the tour, but safe travel, we'll see you when you're back. Right. Thanks everyone, and thanks for the presentation, appreciate it.